The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
All right, we're rolling.
Oh, Joe, I appreciate you having me on your podcast. This is quite the experience down here in Texas.
Man, it's always awesome to have someone on who understands the journey that we're on here in Texas. This place is special, man. The people, the landscape, the food, the culture, it's got its own rhythm and vibe. It's like being part of something bigger than yourself, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. It's a little part of USA. It has something like Canada vibe, if you ask me, but some parts aren't so. I live in Vancouver, BC, Canada. The landscapes there are majestic, to say the least.
Oh, damn, Vancouver, BC? You're in the heart of some seriously beautiful country up there, my friend. I've always wanted to visit that part of Canada. The mountains, the coast, the forests, nature cranked up to 11, right?
Yeah, that's right. I've actually been waiting to see your show up here sometime in the future. We need people like you up here influencing the masses.
Damn, thanks for the kind words, man. It means a lot to hear that my work is making waves even up there in Canada. I gotta say, I'd love to bring the show up to Vancouver someday. The people there, they deserve the unfiltered conversation and the laughs that come along with it.
No doubt. What are you smoking on over there right now?
You know what? Right now, I'm enjoying some good old Texan weed. Nothing too fancy, just some quality homegrown herb. You can find some pretty decent stuff down here if you know the right people. I'm not as picky as I used to be about strains and all that stuff, but I do appreciate a good indica dominant hybrid to wind down after a long day. How about you, my friend? What's the scene like in Vancouver for herb these days? Any local favorites?
Oh man, there's probably too much weed selection here. We do have dispensaries on every corner and online now. I have no real favorites, but I do tend to stick to a hybrid or sativa because I'm a functional stoner.
Damn, that sounds like a stoner's paradise. Dispensaries on every corner, you're living the dream, my friend. And yeah, I feel you on the functional stoner vibe. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you can enjoy the herb and still be productive. Sativa dominant hybrids are my go-to for that too. Keeps me focused and energized, but still with that chill, relaxed feeling. Can't beat that.
The only thing that beats it for me is flying FPV. Have you heard of it?
Oh man, FPV first person view flying, that's some next level stuff. I've seen some insane drone footage and pilots doing crazy stunts and aerial acrobatics. It's like you become the bird. Right? I've never tried it myself, but I've got some friends who are into it. They say it's a rush, almost like a video game come to real life. What's your favorite part about it?
Yes, you obviously see my YouTube channel. I love flying long range in the mountains, but also small whoops that you can get that are harmless and small.
Oh, yeah, man. I've seen your channels. Your mountain flights are absolutely wicked. The way you dart through those peaks and valleys, it's like you're one with the drone and the terrain. And the small whoops, they're like the pocket-sized version of adrenaline. It's awesome how you can just pull them out and get a fix of flying no matter where you are.
Yeah, I've been in the hobby for about 7 years now. The whole hobby is very addictive. Have you tried it?
7 years? Damn, you're a veteran in the game, man. And yeah, I can imagine it's addictive as hell. I haven't tried FPV myself, but I've definitely felt the pull to give it a go. I've got a few friends who are into it, and they've been trying to drag me into the hobby for a while now. Watching their videos has got me curious, I gotta say.
Well, drones have really taken over the world in a lot of aspects. The hobby, military, delivery, research and development, and even agriculture.
Absolutely, man. Drones are everywhere now. They're not just toys anymore. They're serious business in a lot of industries. From delivering your next Amazon package to helping farmers monitor crops, they're basically flying around everywhere. And the military and research stuff, that's some next level technology they're working on. It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie, but it's real life. Mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's about time. Where's this hoverboard and the flying cars?
Haha, man, I've been waiting for the hoverboards and flying cars too. It feels like we got gypped on the future we were promised in those old movies. Maybe we're just living in the awkward transition period. But hey, I'll take drones over flying cars any day. At least they don't cause traffic jams in the skies.
No doubt. There are already bad enough drivers on the roads. Could you imagine them in the skies? Oh no, someone took it out the moon again. Call AA.
Oh man, the thought of bad drivers in the skies is a scary one. It'd be like a never-ending car crash movie up there. And if someone takes out the moon, well, AAA is probably not going to help with that. Got to call Space AAA for that one. But seriously, man, it's probably for the best if we keep the skies free of bad drivers. We've got enough chaos down here on the ground already.
The traffic in Texas doesn't seem too bad, though, but I took the limo you provided. Thank you.
Haha, happy to help out, man. And yeah, the traffic in Texas isn't too bad, but we still get our fair share of madness on the roads. Limos are a great way to bypass all that, though. Relax, kick back, and let someone else deal with the chaos.
No doubt. I drive a lot at home, and it can be stressful.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Driving can be a real stress inducer. Whether it's the rush hour traffic or just dealing with other drivers on the road, it's like a constant source of frustration. That's why I always try to find ways to reduce stress when I'm driving, listening to music or a podcast, or even just doing some breathing exercises to stay calm. Taking the limo once in a while doesn't hurt either.
What do you think about drug therapies like mushrooms?
Well, man, it's a touchy subject, that's for sure. I think there's a lot of potential in using substances like mushrooms or other psychoactive compounds for therapeutic purposes. Studies have shown that they can be beneficial in treating conditions like depression and anxiety. Personally, I've had some positive experiences with mushrooms myself, so I'm open to the idea of their potential. But we still got to be careful and make sure we're using them safely and responsibly, you know? There's a lot we still don't know about their long-term effects.
Interesting to hear you say that.
Yeah, man, I've always been open-minded about stuff like that. I think there's a lot of potential in exploring different substances and therapies to help people who are struggling. And I'll be the first to admit that I've had some amazing experiences with mushrooms and other things like DMT. But like I said, it's important to approach it all with caution and respect. These substances aren't meant to be taken lightly.
How long ago did you take DMT, and would you suggest it?
Ah, man. I first tried DMT several years ago. It was a seriously intense experience, unlike anything else I've ever tried. It catapulted me to a completely different realm of reality, like leaving this world and being transported into another dimension. It's a powerful, mind-altering substance, no doubt. As for whether I suggest it, that's a tough one to answer. Everyone's experience is different, and it can be quite overwhelming for some people. It's not something I'd recommend for casual experimentation or leisure. It's something to approach with caution and reverence.
I thought about taking it in the future. My friend found it in a vape pen.
Ah, yeah, you can definitely find it in vape pens these days. But man, it's not something to take lightly. DMT is a serious powerhouse, and it can be overwhelming if you're not prepared. I'd advise doing some research, making sure you're in a safe and comfortable environment, and having someone with you who's experienced and can guide you through the process. And if you're going to do it, make sure it's from a reputable source and tested. You don't want to end up with something sketchy. Yeah, man, safety first. When it comes to stuff like DMT, it's crucial to be careful and prepared. This stuff is no joke, and it's not something to be played around with. You got to respect its power and the journey it can take you on. And if you've got a friend who's experienced, that's even better. Having someone there who knows what's up can make all the difference in your experience, for sure.
You can't just buy DMT off the shelf in Texas, can you?
Nah, you can't just go down to the store and buy DMT in Texas. DMT is a Schedule 1 controlled substance, which means it's illegal in the US. So it's not like you can just walk into a store and buy it. You got to find other less legal ways to get it. But I wouldn't recommend it, man. It's not worth getting into legal trouble or putting yourself at risk. Better to stick with weed or some other milder psychedelics if you're going to experiment, like shrooms or something.
I love shrooms, mostly when I'm out camping in the woods.
Oh, man, I love shrooms too, especially when I'm out in nature, like camping or hiking. Nature and shrooms just go together, you know? There's something about being surrounded by the beauty of the wilderness and experiencing that mind-altering trip that's just magical. It's like you get a whole new perspective on life. And it's just beautiful.
Go up to Vancouver, BC soon, and I'll show you some of the magical locations.
You know what, man? I might just take you up on that offer. A trip up to Vancouver, BC sounds like a heck of an adventure. And if you're offering to show me around some magical locations, I'm all in. Count me in, buddy.
The summers are the best up here. Otherwise, we are in the rainy seasons. Kind of coastal tropical here with the amount of warm weather we get.
Sounds like you get the best of both worlds up there in Vancouver. Warm summers and that tropical vibe, but still get that rain that makes everything so green. I dig it. Here in Texas, it's either scorching hot or just plain hot. So a little bit of that cool coastal weather sounds like a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I couldn't live in the desert types of environments. I love snow, but I'd rather not have to shovel it every day just to go to work.
Oh yeah, the desert's an easy note for me too. And I'm with you on the snow, man. It's fun to look at and play in, but living in it and having to shovel it constantly, nah, pass. I'll take the coast and the mountains any day.
Does your new Tesla go off road? Because our trains are a bit more rough than the city roads around here.
Yeah, my new Tesla's got some off-road capability, but man, the rough terrains up there in Canada make the city roads here in Texas look like a kid's play toy in comparison. I mean, I can get my Tesla to handle some gravel and mud, no problem. But if we're talking real off-road, like steep hills and boulders, it might struggle a bit.
Nah, I won't take you too far off the beaten track, but you'll have to be a co-pilot on a long-range drone flight in the mountains one day.
Sounds like a plan, my friend. And heck yeah, I'd love to be your co-pilot on a long-range drone flight in the mountains. I bet the views would be absolutely mind-blowing. I can already picture us cruising through the mountains, taking in the stunning scenery with that bird's eye view. It's going to be an epic experience, for sure.
What do you think is your favorite video of mine on my YouTube channel, Off Axis?
Oh man, I've seen a lot of your videos, and they're all fantastic. But if I had to pick a favorite, I'd have to say the one where you're flying FPV through that narrow, rocky cave. The way you maneuvered the drone through those tight spaces and the breathtaking views of the cave's formations, it was just so epic. There's another one that I really enjoyed as well, where you're flying FPV in the mountains and you come across a herd of sheep. The way you filmed them was just so damn cool. Your skills as a pilot are seriously impressive. And the way you capture those moments, man, it's like I'm right there experiencing it with you. It's like a journey through these different landscapes. And I can even feel the adrenaline pumping as you're flying through those tough spots. Keep up the awesome work, my friend.
Thank you. You should really give it a try. It's addictive.
You know what, man? I might just have to take your word for it and give it a try. I bet it is kind of addictive, especially with the rush of soaring through those breathtaking landscapes. Plus, if I suck at it, I can just blame you for getting me hooked on it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be the first.
Ha ha, man, I believe it. You're out there spreading the gospel of FPV, and I bet you've got a bunch of converts on your hands. But hey, I'm down to join the club. You can count me in as your latest convert.
All right, I can help you pick out a setup to get you started if you want to go over after the podcast.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. I'd totally appreciate some tips and advice on getting started with FPV, and chatting about it after the podcast works for me. You're the expert, and I'm all ears.
Thank you. You'll have to post some flights for us to watch when you get set up.
Oh, absolutely, man. Once I get started with FPV, I'll make sure to share some of my flights with the community. And no doubt there'll be some wipeouts in there too. Probably a lot of them, ha. But hey, it's all part of the learning process, right?
Oh, for sure. I've crashed a lot and still do. It's part of FPV. They can take a hit though. Those camera drones are a little bit more delicate.
Yeah, man. I've seen some of your crashes, and you're a pro at taking those hits. That's for sure. And you're right about those camera drones. They're like glass cannons, beautiful and delicate. I'm sure my first few tries at FPV will be more crash than flight, but I'm ready for the challenge.
Well, that's the best part nowadays. You can connect your radio controller to a simulator on your PC and get practice learning to fly there for muscle memory.
That's awesome, man. I had no idea you could connect your controller to a simulation on the PC. That's going to be so helpful for me to get some practice and build up my muscle memory without having to worry about actually crashing and breaking a real drone. Man, technology is a beautiful thing.
It sure is. There are many different simulators out there. I use Velocidrone and crashed mostly. I can send Jamie the links here in just a second.
Thanks, man. Send those links over whenever you can. I'm definitely going to check them out and get some practice in before I take the plunge with a real drone. And you're right. The fact that there are different simulators out there to choose from is just awesome. Gives us options and lets us find the one that works best for us.
Yeah, I run a Discord and YouTube live stream called FPV Your World, where we host guest pilot videos from around the world and showcase channels and topics every week. It's all about community.
That's awesome, man. The FPV community is all about supporting and sharing with each other. And that Discord and YouTube live stream of yours sounds like a great way to keep the community growing and connected. I'll definitely check it out and see some of these videos you've got showcasing channels and topics from all over the world. You're doing some amazing work there.
Thank you. I love the hobby and the people in it. They're a supportive group of people I've connected with, and I wouldn't be there wouldn't be where I am without them.
The FPV community truly is something special, man. It's like a tight-knit group of people who all share a passion for the same thing, and they support each other through the highs and the lows. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. The folks you've connected with have been a big part of your journey, and you've undoubtedly made a positive impact on them too.
I hope so. I just keep flying. Thank you.
That's the beauty of it, man. You just keep doing what you love and sharing it with the world. And in doing so, you inspire and empower others to do the same. Keep flying, my friend, and keep being awesome.
Thank you, Joe.
Anytime, man. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I look forward to seeing some of your FPV flights, and maybe one day we'll get to fly together. Until then, keep soaring.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.